Good evening, everybody, and welcome to GH Gospel Radio. I'm excited to be here this evening, and welcome to your show, Let's Talk Marriage. Today is one of those short videos where we remind ourselves about a few things that we might have forgotten and where we just advise each other in our parenting. Tonight, we have titled our show Forming Healthy Attachments to Your Children. Forming healthy attachments to your children. For a lot of us minorities, it's a very big priority to make sure that our children have whatever they need and to make sure that our children are well disciplined and to make sure that our children are doing the right thing. And for many of us, we want our children to do the right courses. Some of us want to afford our children the opportunities that we didn't have, like playing instruments, playing sports, and all kinds of things. And at the heart of the matter, we all want our children to succeed. We want our children to have the best of what we did not have. And sometimes we are coming from a disadvantaged position because many of us are first generation like immigrants, and we have to make a lot of money to be able to catch up to the middle class because some of us may not have big inheritances to cover us. Many of us do not have our family around us, our extended family around us. When you have your extended family around, you get a lot of free babysitting, you get a lot of maybe your parents had property, they handed over to you and stuff like that. Many minorities, we don't have it like that. So we have to work extra hard to make sure that we can afford the good things in life, not luxury, but the basic, so that our children can also be comfortable. But in doing all that, sometimes what we forget is that our children need time with us. Most of the time, we cannot circumvent that idea of spending time with our children to help them grow. I know cases of some of us sending our children back home to our family to raise for a bit, especially in their very early formative years. That is between the time of like 3 months to 5 years. Sometimes we can't help it because childcare is expensive. And back at home, if we are able to find a family member who is willing and able, they'll be able to take our children in and raise them until they are school going age, and then we can bring them back. And to be very honest, a lot of things happen during those times. Children who grow away from their parents often do not do very well. And it's not a matter of your family member is going to maltreat them or anything. Even though a lot of times a maltreatment happens, there have been several incidences of people having their own siblings treat their children badly. But even if your extended family do not treat your children badly, your children are going to lose out on the fact that they don't get enough face time with you as they grow up. They don't get one or two adults that they have a long history with, they have a long bonding time with. And in our parenting, a lot of times what we do is we want to enforce the discipline, we want to enforce the habits that will make our children successful, but we forget to slow down and play with the children. We forget to slow down and touch our children. We forget to reassure our children. We forget to encourage our children. And for us coming from Africa, when your children are misbehaving, you get so scared that your first response is to yell at them, is to call them to order, is to discipline them. So we are good on the discipline, we are good on teaching them the right thing. But when it comes to the department of reassuring children, being patient with children, touching our children, giving them hugs, giving them a kiss, telling them I love you. There are some African parents that never tell their children I love you because We not grow up with that. I love you is not something that we play with. I love you is something you tell someone when you're ready to find a partner. But I love you is a word that our children need to hear. So tonight, the majority of our discussion is focused on the little things that we forget to do, especially because we are focused on making money to make sure the children have everything they need, and also making sure that our children turn out right. Because to be honest with you, immigrants face quite a lot of challenges in trying to build a life for themselves in a foreign land. So we go the extra mile to make sure that our children are equipped so that they can do better. But in the process, we forget the soft touch. In the process, we forget the reassurances. In the process, we forget to be patient with our children. In the process, we forget to touch our children. It's time that we give our children more hugs, because physical touch is very important for the development of children, especially below the age of 5. When they are getting to teenagers, they don't even want anybody to know they like hugs. But when they are little, that's our opportunity to touch them. You know, as children of immigrants, for some of us growing up, you wouldn't dare hug your father or your mother. Maybe you sit on your mother's lap, but for your mother to give you a random hug, it was rare. Or for your mother to say, I love you, she would do everything but. But those are some of the things that we need to change. And the notion that we have that as long as we are providing for our children, they will be okay. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Over the weekend, one lady was lamenting about how she never felt the bond with her father because her father paid her school fees from the time she was little until the time she finished her master's. But she still felt that the father did not love her. And those around her, like, they lambasted her. They were like, she's ungrateful, she's this, she's this. But let's look closely at the situation. To be very honest, if your parents don't provide for you, they failed you big time, because as a child, all your provision comes from your parents, or it comes through your parents. They are the ones to make sure that you're getting your provision. But if after they get the provision and they don't have that relationship with you, they don't have that FaceTime with you, they cannot remember playing with you, they cannot remember a time that they could come to you and tell you, Daddy, somebody is bullying me at school, or Daddy, something bothers me, or Mommy, my friends, they are picking on me, or my friend said this. Our children should be even able to come to us to ask for advice. And some of us, the way our children can talk, they'll talk, talk, talk. Meanwhile, you want to rest. But studies upon study show that if you don't give your children that time, if you don't let your children feel that they can come to you with anything, sometimes they'll be hurting and they won't tell you. And it's really harsh out there, because when they cannot find somebody they can trust without judgment, it's true that when they are doing the wrong thing and you find out, you will discipline them, but they should know that they can trust you. Absolutely, they can trust you to be fair with them. They can trust you to be soft a little bit, not that you just accept anything. Even though you are firm with them, you also loving, you are also encouraging, you're also reassuring, because every once in a while children need somebody they can talk to. And sometimes we immigrants wouldn't even let our children talk. We will just decide for them and tell them, hey, because I said so. Because we don't have that kind of time and patience to hear children share their opinion, say what they like. You people don't pay bills. You people don't do much around the house. And you want us to be patient, listen to your opinion, and try to work with you. Work with you for what? But that's what we know. That's exactly what we should be doing more of. You see, children don't get up one day and have a good self-esteem. By letting them talk, by listening to them, by allowing them to share their opinions and us reeling things in, it helps them to be confident. It helps them to have good self-esteem. And one thing I heard that really made an impression on me is that whoever a girl's father is, that's who they will marry. And that's what their idea of a good partner will be. So if you're a father and you don't make time for your girls, especially, they will grow up to marry somebody who is not available for them, to them. They'll marry somebody who is not, like, if you're harsh with your girls, they'll marry somebody who is harsh. And also with the boys, you know that mothers like to be nurturing and to be kind, but we are not always firm, and sometimes we are not that strict. And I'm a firm believer that a woman cannot fully train a boy how to become a man. They need their father's love. And even when the father is there to be firm and strict, they also need their father to be like, hey, let's go for a trip. Let me teach you how to tie a necktie. Let me teach you how to fish. It's important that we have fun with our children. It's also important that we teach our children how we make our money. We let them see how we work hard, how we put in time and effort, and how we put our passion into our work. In all our doing, let's remember that patience counts a lot. Reassurance counts a lot. Because guess what? When the children go into teenage years, they are going to count on the bonds that have already been formed. When your teenager is being difficult, and teenagers are difficult. We've all been teenagers. We know how it's like. Your body is changing. You're getting attention from the opposite sex. A lot is going on in your mind. So sometimes the pressure on you is quite a bit. You're at a stage in your life where you can think, but you have no money. So you can't have your way. All of that play into teenagers being a little more challenging to deal with. If you have not made the time to be friends with them during their childhood, the teenage years is going to be even way more challenging, because no matter what, you butt heads. But if they already know how much you care, if they already know how much you love them, it will be easier. It will be a little bit smoother than if you weren't. The world out there is not very friendly. It's challenging. So if teenagers or if children know they have an anchor at home in their parents, it is always a good thing for them. It's been known that children who grow up in foster homes or like group homes don't do too well, because there's often not an attachment to a particular person. Sometimes they get moved over and over. So that kind of face time that they need with one person or two people does not happen. So tonight, this is what we are advising ourselves on. Immigrant parents, in as much as we want our children to have the best and have everything they need, in as much as we need our children to be disciplined and work hard and have a good career, we should not be missing the emotional piece, because the emotional piece is what holds everything together. It has been known that a lot of children who have behavioral issues is because the parents are not available. They may be rich, they may have all they need, they may have nannies and um, classes and tutors and all that. But that missing piece of the parent being there, the parent touching their child, the parent telling the child, I love you, the parent being patient with the child and reassuring the child, that may not be there. And you see, as an adult, if your self-esteem is lacking, if you form all kinds of coping mechanisms that are not healthy, it all starts from your childhood. So that time that we spend with our kids playing, talking to them, they telling us about their friends, they asking our opinion about their clothes, we taking them shopping. It takes quite a bit of our time. And for immigrant parents, we would rather use that time to make money, to get the best for them, and also to secure our own futures. But let's remind ourselves, the emotional aspect is also needed. It's important that we make time to attend their school functions. It's important that we make time to attend their games. And I always sound a note of caution over there that if your children are doing too many activities, then you will not have time to be attending all of it. So make sure that you don't pile too many activities on your children. You see, some of us, because we didn't get some opportunities, we want to overcompensate by letting our kids do all of those activities. That's not the way to go. Just pick one or two and support your children through it. When you pick a lot, it will be so hard to keep up. Because guess what? If you yourself don't make enough time for yourself, it will be hard to make time for your partner, and it will be hard to make time for your children. And talking about partners, one important aspect of parenting is that you love your partner. Why is it important that you love your partner? The stability of your marriage affects your children a lot. Your children want to be able to know that 5 years from now, you still be together. Or even as you are walking about in the home, the two of you like each other. Because some of our children, they have colleagues that have parents who are divorced. And sometimes they wonder, every time you may have a misunderstanding, or you have this cold attitude, sometimes you may not even fight in front of the kids. But when there's tension between you, the parents, the children can pick it up. The children can feel it. When they see that mommy and daddy are not doing things together, they are not happy together. Sometimes you start thinking, are these people going to get a divorce? Is it because of me? The sad thing about children is that whenever they see something bad, they might, or they often actually do, blame themselves. They think that they are the ones who are causing it. And by the time they realize it's not their fault, it might have damaged them in some way. They'll find out that they are adults and now they're trying to understand that, oh, whatever happened in my childhood was not my fault. But it may be too late. So it's important that you put time and effort. Oh, Sister Anna says she agrees. Thank you so much for that. Sister Vivian says hello. Hi, Sister Vivian. Nice to meet you. And Sister Elsie, hello, hello, hello. Nice to have you here. Hey, my own brother, Dr. Bote. Nice to see you. Yes, so it's important that the marital bond between you and the husband, or you and the wife, you are keeping it going. You are spending enough time. Healthy marriage, spend time with your children. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. And so what that means is that we might have to cut down a little bit on the money, because even though money answers all things, it's not the only thing that we need in raising children. Having a good marriage is also important in raising children, and also spending time with the children, to touch them, to tell them I love you, to support them in their activities, to reassure them, and to be patient with them. You see, when you are in a hurry, you have no patience. And when you are short on money, you have no patience. But at least The needs of the family is set by you. If your expectations are too high, you want to have 5 cars and build 4 houses. Of course, you spend a lot of time away from home making that happen. If God blesses you and your business is doing so well that even by not being there, you're making good money, that's a big blessing. But if you have to trade all your time to make more money, such that you don't have time for your marriage and you don't have time for your children, it becomes difficult. Your children will grow up all right. But by the time they're out of your house, that is when you realize that some mistakes have been made. They are lacking somewhere. That self-esteem that they needed is not there because they didn't have somebody championing them when they were little. And there's been countless studies that show that many girls who are promiscuous is because they're looking for love. It doesn't matter how rich their parents were, but if they did not spend that time to pour into them, they can just grow up be looking for love in all the wrong places. Any boy who tells them I love you, they will fall for because they are looking for that attention. And we all know that when a boy says he loves you, 95% of the time it's not true. They just want one thing, and when they are done, they move on. But a girl who hasn't had that attention, who hasn't had that support, who doesn't have a good self-esteem, they are so hungry for love that they will believe anything. A lot of times, brilliant boys who are so good in class, they get out into the world, they go to college and realize they don't have an anchor. They are not confident. They don't have that good self esteem. They don't believe in themselves because their parents didn't have that time to spend time with them, tell them, I love you, reassure them, hug them, be patient with them, take care of the soft stuff, spend time doing stuff with them. We've always said that nobody can read minds. So if you are not showing your children that you love them by spending time with them, by doing activities with them, by talking to them, by having discussions where they can just let loose and tell you whatever they need to say, if we don't allow them to have a voice in the home, that's what they're going to do when they go out. They'll be afraid, they'll be scared, their self esteem will not be there, and they'll be making mistakes even in their adult life. And one thing that we also have to remember is that when we are blessed enough to grow old and our children leave our homes, they no longer stay with us. They no longer wake up under our roof. Whether they will keep in touch with us and be calling us and be coming home for Christmas and Easter depends on how deep a bond we formed with them when they were children. There are a lot of people that their children will send them money, grown children. They will send them money, they'll make sure their needs are met. But as to calling them, visiting them, they don't get that. Why? Because when they were growing up, they did not form that friendship with their children. So even when their children come to visit, they don't know what to say because they don't really, really, really know each other like that. And don't forget that when you grow older, your children may be in charge of your affairs. So the way you're treating them right now, they will surely remember when they are old. They can send you all the money that you need, but for them to come and sit by you and spend time with you, take you fishing, take you to the mall, or come and visit you in the nursing home, if you're not the type who spent time with them, who formed friendships with you, they are also going to be too busy for you. Excuse me. If you did not have that time to have conversations with them talking about nothing in particular and just trying to find out how they are. When you are old, they will also not have that time to spend that time with you. They'll send you money, they'll take care of your needs, just like you also took care of their needs when they were children. But that bond, that time that you need them the most, that they'll call and check on you every day, they'll call and be like, "Oh, we are bringing the family over for Christmas. We're bringing the family over for Easter. We're coming to spend time with you." It's not going to be there. So as we raise our children, we need to remember that we are raising ourselves in our old age. In your old age, you may not even have the time or energy to do much stuff, but you would want your children around you. Even when they have their own families, their jobs are doing well, and they have their own children to take care of, you would want them to spend some time with you and spend some time talking to you, even if they can't see you every day. You'd want them to come home every once in a while. You'd want them to call you on the phone. If you don't make the time now to spend time with them, to hug them, to tell them that you love them, to be patient with them, to reassure them, when you are old, they won't have that time for you. So if nothing that we said encouraged you, let it encourage you that you're doing it for your own future. You don't want your children to one day throw money at you in your old age. You want your children to have enough friendship with you that they like you as a person and want to spend time with you. Don't let it be that they just want to get out of your way and that whatever they need, they will just throw it at you. They will just send it to you. They will sign the check in a heartbeat, but they won't spend time with you because you gave them everything but your time. So you make sure that you're doing that little thing that ends up being the big thing. Spending time, reassuring, touching, saying, "I love you." Okay, so I found this. Somebody made a comment on Facebook, and I found it to be quite informative. I'll just read a little bit of it to you so that you know that it's not just me talking. This person was just sharing his personal experience, and his name is Kevin Onovo. I copied this straight from Facebook. Okay, I read. If you're a young man following me and you are not married yet, but you want to be a good husband and a great dad someday, read this. This isn't hearsay, it's my personal experience talking. And he's saying that don't keep late nights. One of the things that earned me serious respect in my house is simple. I come home by 7 p.m. I learned it from my dad. No late night hanging around. You avoid a lot of unnecessary wahala that way. If you must stay late, let your wife know where you are. The number two he said was listen to your wife. If your wife is a good woman, listen to her. Women have strong instincts. From experience, 99% of what my wife says turns out right. Two old men in their 80s even told me the same thing. Peace starts from listening. Her opinion really matters, bro. Don't take it for granted. And the third thing he said, don't be an absent father. My kids know they joke with me. I bathe them, I play with them, I take them out, and guess what? Children don't forget. The little things hold big memory when they grow up. Make out time always to be present. This is very important. So you won't come to say your kids love your wife more than you. Do house chores. Yes, as a man, I sweep, I clean, I help. It doesn't make you less of a man. It teaches your sons that housework isn't woman work. It creates bonding with your wife. If I can do it and still have peace, you can too. My kids know I can cook because I do it sometimes. They don't see it as a big deal anymore. Stick with one woman, your wife. Let me tell you the plain truth. There is no trophy for sleeping with everything in skirt. If you want to spice things up, spice it with your wife. Men who stay faithful grow faster mentally, spiritually, and financially. Real men have one woman while boys sleep with anything under the sun. Always choose where you belong. And he also says, say I love you to your wife and kids. Even if you are showing it, still say it. Some of us never heard it growing up. Now I say it to my wife and kids daily, and they say it back. It makes them expressive, open, and confident. Teach them to your kids early. Don't take advice from everybody. Only learn from people whose homes you respect. People can advise you how to run your home, but they won't let you advise them. If washing your wife's stuff brings peace, my brother, wash it well. At the end of the day, what you need is peace, not public opinion. And number nine, he said, last but not least, it is your duty as a man to provide for your home. Do it with pride, no matter the hassle. Whether you are pushing wheelbarrow or sitting in office, own it. But also share responsibility so you don't break down early trying to carry everything alone. And as you build yourself, build your wife too. Nobody knows tomorrow. How you treat your wife and kids today will determine how they treat you in old age. What I just wrote is for intentional men, men who want to be present, men who want to build, men who are called finished men just because they love and lead their homes with softness. If you are not one of them, skip the post. No need to argue. Yes, so he was talking to the men, but I have been talking to all of us. It's not only men who can be busy. Sometimes mothers can also be very, 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 very busy and absent from the home. So it is advised to both of us, parents, mothers, fathers, wives, husbands. It's important that we keep our marriage peaceful, and also after doing all the discipline, after doing all the working hard to make sure that our children have everything that they need, we also need to do the soft touch, the touching our children, the telling them we love them, the reassurance, the being patient with the children. It's not every time that I'll be yelling at them. And in fact, we don't need to yell at them, even though knowing children, there'll be times that they will frustrate you. But we have to learn and we have to practice being patient with them and telling them we love them. We need to make the money, that's important. And we also need to spend the time with them. We need to reassure them. We need to build their confidence. And it all comes with making sure that our children feel loved. We need to hug them, tell them that we love them. So, like we said earlier, this is going to be a short one because it's all about do this, do this, do that. We don't like it when we are talking plenty. So, this is where we're going to end tonight's discussion. Even though I didn't see any question, yeah, it was still a discussion because I was talking to you. So, maybe you said yes in your head. It's all the same thing to me. So, I hope that going forward, immigrant parents, we are going to do better letting our children know that we love them, because of course we do love them, but as to how we are showing it, some of us may not be putting in work in the soft department. We are doing well in the tough department and in the provision department, but we might be lacking a little bit in the soft department, supporting the children, showing up for their activities, telling them we love them, and hugging them, spending time with them, being patient with them, and reassuring them. Let's work on this aspect of our lives. And also, let's not forget to keep our marriage peaceful and thriving, because the children also depend on stability in the home for reassurance and for peace of mind. So until we come your way again, God willing, next week with another program, 6 p.m. Central Time, may God bless your marriage. And do remember that it takes a good Christian to have a good Christian marriage. Bye-bye.